Hello everyone and welcome back to Battletech Advanced 3062. And it has been quite a while since I've been able to say that. We are starting a new campaign with the first drop of the Winged Lancers. We do of course have Hellrider in the Ebon Lectus. We have Carcharodon, I'll learn how to say that, in a Kintaro K. We have Optio in a Phoenix Hawk, Jeremidius in a Strider, and Face in some Void Battle Armor, which is actually one of the coolest parts of this, I think. We have quad battle armor support particle projectile cannons, and that seems like it could be relatively effective if treated properly. So we do of course have limited mobility with the battle armor, and because of that we will start off with our first, for this campaign anyway, reserve down. Of course this is the general tactic that I will do to start off most missions. Just let the enemy move first, let them get within range of you before you are within range of them. So we have a couple of vehicles that are visible over the ridge here, and it looks like they're trying to reserve down as well, so let's try to not give them what they want. We'll jump the Void Battle Armor up and brace, and let's see. Okay, looks like all vehicles, that's not terribly surprising. It's a one skull mission just to start things off, and that can often lead to, well, less than desirable Op 4s in terms of salvage, but that's okay because we took that all for the payday anyway, so we will just be trying to get as much money as possible out of this. Oh, and of course there is a mech there. It looks kind of like, oh, I was going to say like a Locust, but nope, that is an Owens. Looks like it's small pulse, and one of the Streak SRM2s are damaged, so we won't necessarily have to deal with those. And look at that mobility on the Ebon Legatus. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. However, our accuracy still kind of sucks. So, one thing at a time. Let's not move him first. I want... Oh, we have jump jets on this thing, don't we? Yes, we do, but they're not really that useful. Okay, let's get the Kintaro K moving up and forward. I think that would be a good thing for us. Unfortunately, can't bring the guns online quite yet. Let's see, the Phoenix Hawk definitely can. That is one of the good things about these stock configurations. They tend to have more jump jets than I leave on them once I've done some modifications, but we haven't had the time. We are just one day into our campaign, so I figure if I brought things offline we would miss a couple good paydays that we otherwise could have very well benefited from. The best way to go up and around is probably over here. So I don't want to shoot yet because this thing runs toasty even on polar biome, as you guys will definitely see before long. And now, okay, now we're on 2. So can I get a shot? I can't. That is upsetting. I was hoping to get a shot with the battle armor, and I don't want our battle armor to give them first priority. Well, let's just jump up here and brace. Should be okay. That Void Battle Armor is relatively evasive, in part because of its small size, which won't be too much of a benefit here as we are fighting small vehicles, but Phoenix Hawk takes a little bit of a ding. Nothing too bad. Should be... I think this should be fine if we can concentrate fire on any of these. And the nice thing too about the Ebon Legatus is that plasma deals double damage to vehicles, so any shot that we land with those plasma rifles will effectively deal double damage to our opposition. So let's go ahead and reserve, and let's see where we can go. So I said plasma rifles. Technically speaking, this thing has ultra plasma rifles, which were community content specifically commissioned for this mech. And well, we're about to show one of them off and why we did this sort of craziness. So the range isn't exceptional. The damage is actually split 30-30, so 30 normal damage, 30 heat damage. It's a little bit different from your standard plasma rifle, also from your plasma cannon, which you might find on campaign. And that does mean that we won't get 100 off of the plasma rifle shot like we would from the heat of a standard plasma round, but we will get some reliable standard damage as well. Plus the 60 from the double heat brings us up to 90. So per shot, a little less effective than the standard plasma rifle, but let's see what we can do. Alright, that's the first volley. Second volley, unfortunately only 3 landing. A lot of plasma residue, which is quite nice, and okay, that's why. We pounded through most of the fronts and most of that side armor on the left-hand side, so I'm hoping we can take that tank down this same round. Apologies. apologies for the traffic noise. And the other thing about the Ebon Legatus is that it has way more armor than anything that we're going to be able to field for quite a while. So it's a pretty good jump start of the campaign. I felt a little bit bad about that, to be honest. But I really wanted to field this mech. It's thematic. It's the one that was commissioned for this mercenary company, the Winged Lancers themselves, and you know what? Hell with it. Should be a good time. So we have gotten our first kill, and it looks like there's just 3 left, which is a little weird, because of course our Op 4 is Comstar, which usually fields Lancers, I guess you could call them, of 6 mechs instead of 4, which is standard for Inner Sphere companies and things like that. Owens is going to be a little bit tricky to track down, and Sensor Lock. Okay, I mean that's fine. We only hit 2 of us. The evasion won't be crippling in a single round anyway. And okay, let's do this. Let's jump over here, and we'll use the Kintaro to hopefully bore into the right side of this J. Edgar. Now, Streakcaster M6s are not always my favorite. They have better clustering, better accuracy, but if they don't all find their target, they won't shoot. Fortunately for us, they did find their target, and we can, well, let's see, what's our accuracy standing still? Okay, we're just going to stand still and shoot. Yes, it does make us target. I was really hoping to land that large laser, but alas, no luck. So we'll just have to rely on face to do it. So, oh man, I really don't like the limited mobility on this guy. I've used a couple of suits of battle armor before. We had some in our last campaign as well, and they really needed someone to carry them around, which unfortunately we don't have quite yet. So we'll have to make one of these a carrier mech for that. It just means including battle armor handholds that they can latch onto. So provided the void battle armor has a claw, it should be more than set. Kintaro drawing a little bit of fire is a tad unexpected, but most of that looks like it's just MG rounds from the J. Edgar, so we could take that for 20-30 rounds before it started causing a problem, unless of course they got a head hit, something like that. Void battle armor also does draw some fire. We have to be careful here. These guys are a pain in the ass to repair and refit. I've also encountered a bug sometimes where you can't remove them until they're repaired, which right now would take us a fair amount of time. So I do want those guys to, I do want them to stay safe, or at least as safe as can be in a mission like this. So all of the Up 4 has moved. There are 3 remaining. Let's see what we can get with the Ebon Legatus. What happens if I just stand still? That's not horrible. Can't have a shot there. What is this? First aid? I don't need first aid. Activated abilities, don't have any yet. Okay, let's just stand still and shoot. Ultra Plasma Rifle is going in. Oof, nice. Structure exposed. There's the kill. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And yeah, I mean, shooting those things is going to be a bit expensive. We will lose part of our payday because plasma ammunition, well, ain't exactly cheap, I believe is the expression. But I think that's well worth it at this point. And we can, well, let's do this. Let's go in here. We'll do target prediction, which I should have done earlier, but it doesn't benefit him. It might benefit everybody else. Let's shoot with the 3 MGs. If we can get any good damage on the back of that Owens, we might be able to crack him open, but it doesn't quite look like it. Yeah, no dice there, unfortunately. But we do have jump jets on the Kintaro as well, so we'll do that. Let's jump behind here. Now we do have a little bit of a friendly fire risk, but I think that's going to be okay. Let's turn off one of these. The streaks won't fire unless they're going to hit the target anyway, so there's no chance from those. And down goes the Owens, leaving just a single damaged vehicle between us and our first payday. So let's see if Decimidius, or Jeremidius, Decimidius, I knew it sounded familiar, can do that. Front of the J. Edgar is the most damage. We have to sprint in order to take that shot, but we can nonetheless, and Battlelord will also be able to get us more damage and accuracy. So let's go ahead and take that shot. Structure exposed, vehicle down, and the first ever mission of the returned Winged Lancer Company has been completed. Thank you all for hanging around. We'll see you again real soon.